What's up, mother? Welcome back to the Goblin Mode podcast. My name is Cheeky, and I am your mother host.
Goblin Mode! Goblin Mode!
Well, welcome back to the Goblin Mode podcast. Please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and do not close out of this video. I have a lot to say, and you're gonna sit down and listen, or I will eat your ass. Okay, just kidding, but hi, welcome back. Nice to see you guys. This is my first official episode back, because the last one was just kind of a update, letting you guys know what's up. You know, the vibes. Also, if you can hear the rain, please just zen out. Be grateful for the rain, because someone has to enjoy it, and it's not me. It's not me. Because I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it rains all the fucking time. And I'm so sick of these hoes being like, oh my god, I want to move to the Pacific Northwest because I love the rain. Like, I love rain, love cozy vibes. Yeah, you say that until it's your life 24/7, and then you're like, I want to kill myself. I want to die. I can't do anything without my clothes getting wet. I can't walk out to my car to grab something I forgot without my hair getting wet. You know? It's just like, it's... That's the thing that I can't stand about it, is I want to go and do stuff. I like running errands, you know, going out to literally just going on a walk, like doing anything. I like doing it without having to deal with the rain. It's fucking horrible. And I'm coming to you live from my leaky shit box of a home. I've said before, I live in a camper that I renovated with Nars, my partner. And yeah, it's a very old trailer. It's nice on the inside, in my opinion, but the integrity of the outside is a little bit compromised. And that's the thing, we've paid people to come and patch it multiple times, and it just, you know, it gets old. And anybody who has lived in a camper or uses a camper or knows just the general vibe, they are not well made. But in reality, neither are homes these days. So it sucks, but I don't see it as a huge issue. My goal, whenever we can afford land, is to build like a big cover for it. That way I don't have to worry about leaks and stuff. And then I can live in it without having anxiety 24/7 that I'm breathing in mold that's growing in my walls. I don't know if that's the case, but my anxiety is just like, hey girl, let me give you some cool ideas on something to be anxious about today. But yeah, this is my little corner. I'm hoping that the camera is staying focused for everybody. It looks like it's not. That's why I'm like, huh. I don't know if the camera's focused. There's been a time before whenever we did a podcast and the whole episode was out of focus, and it pissed me off more than anything on this planet. And it's like my vision isn't good enough to tell on the viewfinder if it's not blurry. So I just have to keep like leaning in a little bit, but then it focuses on me leaning in. Whenever I lean back, it's like, did it refocus? I don't know. I need to go to the eye doctor. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this is my little corner. I have this little like podium thing that I built for a space heater, so it would be like up off the floor and have like more range of motion. But I have different heaters now, and they're in different spots. So this is kind of like a little area that I do art in, and now it's gonna be where I do the podcast. I have my little thing over here that's recording. Hopefully it'll stay recording for audio. That's the thing, is a lot of people don't realize the behind the scenes with podcast stuff. It can get quite stressful because your camera won't focus or your audio won't, it'll just stop recording out of nowhere. So then you have to go off of the audio that the camera records or vice versa. And it just becomes a huge pain in the fucking ass. But yeah, anyways, over here in this corner, I have my laptop in case we need to look anything up, if I need to fact check myself. Also, I have this warrior kitten who's crying that I bought from a new like art pal of mine online, Atomic Sharky. She is very hot and cool and slay. So that's cool. And I have some of my trinkets over here. I have my little pixel screen that I never get to use. So yeah, we got a little corner going on over here. And the Goblin Mode logo, it's fucking backwards. I don't know what to tell you. I'll try to flip this video in post production, but I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but if I see myself flipped or like right, like, cause I always flip my camera, but if I see it the right way, I freak the fuck out. Like, I don't look like myself. My lazy eye is like way more pronounced, which in turn makes me want to beep myself. I don't know if y'all feel that way. Or like if you see your side profile, you're just like, wow. So that's what that looks like, huh? And then you just sit there all day and you're like, oh wow. But that's the thing, is I'm trying to be very like positive, you know, because I'm very stern on feeling like we were given one vessel for our soul for this life. You know, I don't know if y'all believe in reincarnation and all that, but I'm just saying, like, in the sense of you being born, I think you were born into the vessel that you were born in, whether you like agree with the vessel or not. I think you should be kind to yourself because it's your body, you know. Like, there's some things I don't like about myself. I feel like in a general sense I'm pretty confident, but there's some things I don't like about myself, just like everybody, you know, because modern media has made us all hate ourselves if you don't look like a Kardashian. But I think everyone is so unique. I'm drawn to people who have interesting characteristics, like features, I mean. Like if they have like a big bump in their nose, or like a huge gap in their front teeth, or like a chipped tooth, or really strangely shaped lips, like, you know, or a really prominent chin. I think that stuff like that's so cool. Like, it makes you who you are, not to be a fucking goober and like a hyper positive freak, but I definitely feel a lot different about changing things about yourself than I did when I was younger. And I do think that, like, I'm pro plastic surgery. Let me get that straight. I think people should first try to love themselves, but if you know that getting a nose job or like lip filler or whatever will make you like yourself more, go for it. But I just think, like, I feel like with certain things you will change it and then you're not going to feel any different, because you need to like learn to love yourself. And maybe that's a privileged thing to say because I wasn't born like super conventionally ugly, you know. You know, like if I was born and had like warts all over my face and like a gigantic, like huge hooked down witch nose or something, like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna want to have all that shit lasered off and get a nose job and then be Slayana boots. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of the people that I know that get work done, they looked so perfect before, you know. And not to, I feel like parents are like that. You're like, oh, why would you want to change your beautiful face? It's like, oh, well, of course you love my face. Like, you're my parent or you're my family member. But it's like, I don't know. That was a weird way to go. I don't even remember the fuck I was talking about. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Why did I go on that tangent? This is that's what y'all have to look forward to with me being the host of my own podcast and not having a co-host. I will have guests on the show. I have a couple guests lined up right now. A few, actually. One of them I'm not, it's kind of like TBD, but I was going to say, I'm excited to have guests on the show. I'm excited to have this little corner. It's fun. I like being on the floor. I like sitting crisscross applesauce. I like just shooting the shit. A lot of you guys know I don't have any friends like in real life because I moved I moved like at the beginning of the pandemic. So I don't see people IRL. And I'm a super extroverted human. So this is kind of like a good way to get out what I need to say and shake out my sillies, if you will. You know, isn't that like a thing, like shake out your sillies? Is that what I feel like we did that when we were kids. Like if you were like really hyper and your teacher or your parents would be like, okay, you need to shake out your sillies because you're acting fucking crazy. But yeah, real quick before we dive any further, please be sure to like and subscribe. I would really like to get monetized on this channel. My other channels that I have, I put my whole bussy into and I never got monetized. And it is kind of like, it'll break your spirit a little bit, but I'm planning on sticking with this. But I plan on sticking with everything. And then I end up like, you know, at some point in time getting burnout. So I'm going to try to take this specific thing and keep it chill. You know, I'm not going to put too many expectations on myself. I'm not going to set any bars too low or too high because it just needs to be I'm going to do it when I feel like it kind of thing and go from there. Again, I hope that this isn't out of focus because if it is, I'm going to lose my fucking mind and then I might actually give up on the pod. I do have a pod, like a microphone stand, but I like holding the mic as well. Like I think that holding it's fun, but I also don't know how it's going to sound if I like knock it around too much. We'll see. But anywho, I have some topics to talk about today. I'm not really sure what to start with. We started with very bizarre things. Sorry about that. And I did, first off, before we really dive in, I just said that. Oh, but I was asking you to subscribe. I was saying I tested the video and the audio on my laptop. Like I did test runs and to make sure that everything's working. So fingers crossed everything stays in working order. But technology loves to take a big fat dump on me all the time. So we will see what happens. But I hope you guys are having a good day. If you would like to let me know what's going on with you, let me know in the comments. I love my community, like the people that I know on the internet, my internet pals. So yeah, let me know. I love hearing from you guys. I know some of my stream friends and stream what the hell? I literally just blanked. What is wrong with me? My stream community might miss me because I don't stream very much. Hardly at all these days, actually. And I miss you guys. So if you're watching this, I miss you, most likely. Unless you're a fucking troll, then fuck you. But yeah, happy holidays. I hope you have really awesome things happening this month. I am doing a no-buy month, which for me is kind of, it's going to be hard for sure. Because although I am broke, I always have like, you know, $60 to $100 here and there, depending how good my Etsy store's doing, or like if I get a donation, or if I sell a piece of art, you know, I'll have like, you know, probably a couple $100 a month in disposable income. That's if NARS is also breaking me off. But like, I always spend it on stuff I need and stuff I don't need. Like, I buy a ton of shit on Amazon. I feel like I'll always be an Amazon girly just because they always have the most like niche shit that I need. Like, for instance, I really needed I think it's called a Fiend it's spelled differently, but I think it said fiend, but it's the container that you put coffee into for a Vietnamese coffee. And I wanted to buy one of those, and I could either order it on Amazon for like $8 or go really far across town and get one for probably a huge markup at like a Vietnamese market or an Asian market. And I was like, I hate driving. It's dark and rainy by the time I get out and about. I hate driving in the dark and I hate driving in the rain. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just order it on Amazon. But then also I was like, okay, I really want the obviously sweetened condensed milk for the Vietnamese coffee. But I was like, I would really love if there was like a squeezable, resealable tube or like pouch instead of the cans, because the cans, if you know, they're very messy. And yeah, if you know. And so I went on Amazon and it was like, yeah, it's like a 2-pack of resealable carnation sweetened condensed milk pouches for like $12 or something, which is definitely a huge markup, but it was exactly what I needed. And I think that that's the huge issue. Well, it's not really an issue. It's an issue because we're all falling prey to capitalism and Jeff Bezos's reign on, I was going to say reign on America, but I think the whole world has Amazon now. But there's just too much convenience, and I love it because I'm a modern woman and I like having the things that I need. I also am an artist and I craft a lot, so I will be looking for like a very particular size of like key ring, like rings with a clippy on it. And I'm like, man, like I like this one, but this would be perfect if it was a 1/4 of an inch smaller. And I look down and there's exactly what I'm looking for, and it's cheaper. And it's like, it's stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to drive around town looking for this very particular thing in craft stores whenever I could just order it on Amazon and it gets here in a day or two, So if you shop on Amazon, don't fucking feel bad about it. I feel like all the woke warriors are like, oh my God, like stop supporting Amazon. It's so bad. But then they use an iPhone, and the cobalt and lithium were mined by the hands of children in Africa. So, you can't really win. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Let me repeat. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. So remember that. Anytime someone tries to dog your ass for shopping at fucking Target or Amazon or wearing a piece of fast fashion, obviously I don't think that you should do like fucking Shein hauls and buy from AliExpress all the fucking time, because that is kind of sus and very like sweatshoppy. But like I feel like I've really done a good job of buying things and being sort of sustainable while also not dogging myself for supporting, I guess, not fast fashion, but just like fast capitalism, everything. Because like I don't overbuy, and I do buy clothes that I'm going to wear for a really long time, and I try to buy like higher quality clothes. Like I will spend $40-$50 on a top or a t-shirt, which I know sounds crazy, but I will keep it forever. Instead of buying like 10 shirts for the same price on like a fast fashion site. So that's all I'm going to say. I won't get on my fucking soapbox for too long because I know everyone feels a certain way about it. Okay, cool. We're still recording. Everything seems like it's going well. I have so much PTSD with the podcast technology fucking me over like royally. And if you're seeing this right now and I'm blurry on camera, just know I'm going to have a meltdown whenever I import it to my computer. Pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Yeah. I remember syrup sandwiches. What is that song? What is the Kendrick Lamar song? At the beginning, he goes, "Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me." Should we look it up? Can I like listen to a few seconds of a song without it DMCAing me. Okay, I'm gonna look this up while we chat. We're gonna have to talk about Spotify Wrapped. Of course. Oh, that's a Be Humble song. Okay, let's see. I just want to hear what he says in the beginning. Okay, nobody pray for me. It been a day for me. Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Yeah. I remember syrup sandwiches and crumble allowances. I should have looked up the lyrics and not played the song. Anywho, yeah, we'll talk about Spotify Wrapped in a little bit, but I need to pull up my phone. I always have an ongoing list of stuff to talk about for Goblin Mode. I'm just gonna go down the list because fuck it. And there is very very random. Oh, so okay, so we're already talking about coffee with the Vietnamese coffee. So something that I have done in the past, I guess since like a little bit before Black Friday. Well, not Black Friday. When the fuck was this? Oh no, it was a Amazon Prime sale, whichever like the last one was, because it was like I was hunting for a deal for an espresso machine, and I had a few that I had bookmarked in my cart, keeping an eye on pricing, because I was like, I don't want to invest in a super good machine, but I also don't want to invest any money into a piece of shit that's just gonna break or like I'm not gonna use. So after doing a bunch of extensive research, there's this guy on TikTok who is a coffee guru. I'll put him up here if I can find his page. And he had suggested, he does like live tests of all these different machines, which I really appreciate because you can like see it working, and he'll tell you like which machines to stay away from and which ones blah blah blah. And so I actually don't even okay, so I was originally looking at a Breville Bambino because I have a Breville oven and I really love Breville. I'm a Breville girly. I also have something else Breville, I don't remember what it was, but so yeah, I saw that he said that a good dupe for the Bambino, because the Bambino is $300, I think, which is like a decent price for an espresso machine. Like they get upwards of like $10,000 for at-home machines. And I do drink coffee every single day, so I was like, okay, it needs to be like maybe in the $200 to $300 range. I don't know, but I also am like broke all the time, so I was like trying to be cognizant of like the price range. But so anyways, I usually use an AeroPress, which I've talked about in other vlogs and on my stream and stuff, but I'm a huge AeroPress fan. I use one every single day. And then I was like, you know what? Like I really would like to try something new. I want new outlets for my coffee experiences. Because it's not to be a chuggy ass bitch being like, not before I've had my coffee, but I do love my coffee every morning. That's like my highlight of my day, which, you know, might be sad to some. It might be a little depressing that that's the highlight of my day. Maybe I'm not living life the way that I should, but that's a whole other thing. But you know, it's the little things. That's what this is. This is the little things. And my coffee, love it. I have a very specific routine. I've posted my routine on TikTok. I have that linked to my bio and my card. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I used to post a lot. I haven't posted in a while, but I need to because I'm trying to sell my art, my original paintings that I've been doing, and they are not selling. But I think it's because I am not marketing them very, very well, and I need to. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, if you see something that you like or you want me to make you a custom, let me know. Holler at me because I am down to clown. I love painting, which is so funny because I I literally dropped out of this painting college class that I had, that I got, like, I don't want to call it a scholarship because it was for one class that they paid for. But like it was free. Like they paid because I was in the gifted program. And they like sent me to that class. But I dropped out of it, and I felt really bad because my mom bought me a bunch of high quality paints and supplies, and I dropped out. Also, she was a painter, and so she was probably like, yay, like she's following in my footsteps, like let's go. And then I was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm gonna stop going and I'm gonna develop a cocaine addiction. And smoke weed every fucking day. You know, that could have been a mistake, but I also just didn't enjoy going to the class, and I'm very firm on like not doing something that you don't enjoy. Like if something, obviously there's a difference between like, oh, like I have to go to work, like nobody fucking likes work. Like I don't want to be like, don't do something that you don't like. It's like, yeah, I hate this, I quit. It's like, oh, because you know, work sucks usually no matter what. But there are things that you sometimes get into that you feel like you have to stay in that you don't. And I'm saying like, you know, if you, for small example, if you go to a hangout, like a party, and you're there and you're just getting bad vibes, like you don't like people at the party, fucking leave. Like if you go to the grocery store and the people in the grocery store are stressing you out, fucking leave. Like any situation that you're in and you don't like it, just fucking dip out. And that's why I dipped out of that college class, because I was like, this is the bane of my existence. I feel like I'm not, like, this is not enriching my life. Like I would much rather just take a painting tutorial thing on YouTube, like, which I have. Because the teacher for this class was like so fucking boring, and they dogged my art so hard, and I thought that it was pretty good. Which, you know, maybe I can't take criticism. maybe I need to learn to take criticism. I just picture it flashing to like what I painted, and it was like a stick person with like dots for eyes, and I'm like, yeah, like this is like realism. And they're like, yeah, this looks like shit, like I'm sorry, but this is an F-. And I'm like, what the fuck, like you don't see my genius, like I'm out of here. And it's like, no, I don't even remember. I think we were having to paint, the final straw for me with this class was we had to paint a sheet that the teacher like pinned to the wall. And so it was like drapey and hanging and had lots of like shadows and creases and curves. And he was just like, okay, paint this. And I was like, God, this fucking sucks. But I painted it, and I thought it looked pretty good. And they did not think that. They did not think it looked good. And I was like, okay, what the fuck ever. Fuck you. Fuck this class. I'm outie. Peace. And you know what? I still like to paint now. But the thing is I made this such a long fucking story for no reason. But I quit going to that class, and I was like, I'm never painting again. Like, I fucking hate painting. I'm going to be a digital artist from now on. Fuck real paint and real brushes. And I now am painting again, and I thought that I would never paint again in my life. I'm not kidding, unless it was like painting a wall in your house, like doing some sort of like home project painting. That kind of shit I can get down with. But this was like regular painting, and I swore I was never going to do it again. And now I'm painting again, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm having the best time. I think it's because I'm painting what I want to paint. I'm literally painting what I want to paint. And every time I painted in my past, it was always painting something that somebody told me to paint. Or like the prompt just like didn't fit what I was wanting to paint, you know? And maybe that was on me. I should have gotten more creative with it to where it could be something I wanted to paint. But this is a PSA that, you know, maybe don't knock something after one try and having a bad time with it. And by one try, like I painted for a long time before I gave up on it. It wasn't like I went to that one class and was done. Like I took multiple art classes throughout my schooling, and I painted in my free time and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying, like, I am glad that I didn't fully give up on painting because it has been enriching my life lately. I've been having a really good time using it as an outlet for creativity and my artistic expression. But yeah, so if there's something that you might want to revisit, do it. 100% get into it. Yeah. Okay, we're still recording. Sorry, PTSD. I'm like, huh, did it stop? Did it stop? But I think all people who film and like record, like, they are all kind of paranoid about that too. It's not just me. Because if it stops, you're fucked, and the episode is dead, you know? Okay, sorry. I was talking about coffee. I'm glad I made a list, because if I had to like go back, if I had to roll the tape back to get back to an old thought, we'd be fucked. But so yeah, so I found a coffee machine. I literally don't know how we got onto this. Like, how did I get to painting? How did I get to that topic, y'all? What was wrong with me? Okay, so coffee. I always use an AeroPress, but I was like, you know what? I want to have like more ways to make coffee because I drink it every day. Like, I should mix it up, you know? And I knew that I liked Vietnamese coffee, so I bought one of those fiends and like have the right ground, or the right I know the right grind for the grounds. I know the right ground. And then I got a machine. The guy on TikTok, he said to get a Casa Brews machine that is a dupe for the Breville Bambino. And I got that one because it was on sale, and it was the exact amount of money that I had saved up for the coffee machine, which I think the money saved up, I mean, like, my community donated for, which was really fucking nice. Thanks, guys. If you were one of them, you know who you are. Thank you so much. But I was originally crowdfunding for a Bambino. I know, and that sounds crazy to like an average person who doesn't really get Twitch. They probably are like, oh, so you just like go on the internet and you like tell people you want something and they like buy it for you. And it's like, yes. Yes, precisely. No, it's like, I have dono goals and stuff. Usually it's for things that are for stream, or like whenever I was doing ASMR, like I would crowdfund for like different like triggers and like microphones and stuff that I needed. And my community is watching right now. They're like, and where's that shit? Where is it? Where is it, cheeky? Look, guys, I'm blossoming. I'm a flower with many layers. I'm in my metamorphosis. Okay, just let me live. But yeah, I had crowdfunded for this cut. They're just really nice. They love supporting me. And I'll take it. Like, if someone wants to support you and help you buy things that you want, and you're a content creator, why the fuck would you say no? You know, it's like, it's nice to feel supported by people and like have gifts and stuff. It's really cool. But anyways, sorry, that there is no way to say that without sounding like a spoiled fucking brat. There's just no way. But anywho, we had raised enough money to be able to afford the Casa Brews, which was like, I think $150. And I was like, okay, like, I took down the dono goal, like, for the whole amount for the Breville one. And I was like, I'm just going to get the dupe or whatever. Well, I got it, and I've been trying to brew shots like every day, and I have a bottomless portafilter, and then the one that came with it that has like the two little spigots on it. So not bottomless. If you're a coffee person, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not even really like a hardcore coffee person, but now I have the things that hardcore coffee people have. But yeah, I cannot for the fucking life of me pull a normal shot with the bottomless portafilter. I've done everything that I humanly can. Like, it's like, make sure your grind is right. Make sure you use the little tool to space out the grounds and to aerate the grounds. Be sure to use the little thing that puts the 30 pounds of pressure or however much, and then put a little metal filter on top of that. It's called like a filter puck or something. And I do all of these things, which takes fucking forever, by the way. And I'm so used to my AeroPress, which is so quick because I do like an inverted thing, and I use my kettle, pour hot water over it, let it sit, plunge it, mix it with stuff, you know? I was specifically getting an espresso machine to make my mornings easier and more like streamlined, and it is 1,000,000% not. Which is hilarious because there's so many things in my life that I've been like, oh, I'm gonna get this, it's gonna make my life easier, like, it's so convenient, blah blah blah, and it like always isn't more convenient. Like, the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, like, really applies here. It really applies here. Because I'm glad I have this machine, and I do use it a lot. Like, I would say 4 days of the week I use it, which I feel like is more than the average person uses their espresso machine. But I'll like mix it up, and I'll do like one Vietnamese, one AeroPress, and then the rest regular like espresso shots. But I was gonna say, I cannot get the right pull on those goddamn shots. Like, it's supposed to look a certain way, it's supposed to taste a certain way, and it never is either. And I've mixed it up. I have like a really nice grinder. I'm on Grinder. But I am doing everything right according to the pros and the YouTube videos and the TikToks, and it just still isn't right. And I feel like I'm going fucking crazy because I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I like to be good at things, especially whenever I do a lot of research on something, and I did. And so I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, why the fuck is this not working? So yeah, it's still good. It still pulls shots, and I still drink them, but they're like normal shots. Like, it just looks like black coffee, like poured into a cup. It's supposed to be a certain amount of like crema on top, like foamy looking. It's supposed to taste a little more robust. And it's not the machine, because I've literally watched the guy that told me about the machine on TikTok. I've watched him pull multiple shots with the same machine. And so I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, anyways, I've made that story like way too goddamn long, but that's been my main stressor lately. Which, you know, if that's your main stressor in life, that's pretty good. You know, things could be a lot worse. I have just been chilling. I have this like idea in my brain because I've had a lot of like seasonal depression lately. I have this new idea that I want to like move to a new city and like start fresh and like buy a piece of land, which is hilarious because I have no money. I have a good credit score and a dream. So, you know, maybe that's enough. But last time I talked to you guys, I don't know if y'all saw the video. If you didn't, Nars was about to lose his job because the owner was going to sell to like he was just going to sell everything, like liquidate the whole business, because I guess things aren't going well for him personally. I don't know. And it really sucked because they all really liked that job, but now they're staying open, but things are kind of getting shuffled around a lot and they're all kind of like antsy. And so I was like, why don't we just like one of his close friends is opening their own restaurant and bar in a city that's like an hour away. And I was like, okay, what if we were able to buy land there and just move there, and like you had like a guaranteed job? And he's like, I mean, if we could find something in our budget, normally everything is like extremely out of our budget, but my little crazy ass is on the internet every day and night looking for land in that area and like within 20 minutes of the area. And I found something that's in my budget because it's like a very oddly shaped piece of land, which I don't really care about. And a lot of things like have checked all the boxes for me with this particular plot. And the main thing being that it's affordable, which in this area in the Pacific Northwest is just like unheard of, because usually even a fucking pube of land is like 100,000 minimum. And I'm not going to say the price of this one because it's the only one in the entire area that's that price. And I just don't want to put that on the universe for anyone else to take from me. Because I do feel confident that I could get a loan for it. Is it ideal? No. To have to like get a loan for this? No. Is it a smart decision with me having a car note? No. Is it a good decision in general? I don't know. Probably not. But I'm in this like YOLO phase. Sorry, I know YOLO is so fucking done, but like I feel like it gets the point across when that's exactly what you're talking about. But I'm in this phase where like everything is just so out of reach. Like everything's expensive. Like you're never going to be where you want to be. Like I guess financially and like physically, you know, like this is hard to explain without diving too deep into it. And I really don't want to because I have a million other things to talk about. But like you can have a goal and then you reach that goal and you're just like, okay, like what next? Like most people are that way. Like they're just like, they can never be content with what they have. And so for me, I've been trying to practice that for the past, basically the whole pandemic, but mainly like more so like really honing in on it the past like year and a half. I've been like, okay, I think it's called stoicism technically, which like normally the word stoic like doesn't go together with that to me, but I think when I looked it up, that's what it was stoicism. Because I feel like complacency is the other word that you would think, but complacency is like, you know, kind of like lowering your standards and being like, well, this is it. Like, I'm happy with what I have. And it's like, it's not that. It's like, it's more of like a positive complacency, I guess. It's like, I'm like, well, you know, my home is paid for, although it is leaky and has issues. I am so grateful. You know, I have a roof over my head, and a lot of people can't be in the situation that I'm in because they, you know, don't have a place to put their camper, or they can't afford a camper in the first place or whatever, which I want to do a whole video on just that. Like, I want to explain from start to finish exactly how I achieved this goal of mine, because it was a huge goal for me. It was to live in a tiny house slash camper slash some kind of small dwelling that I could renovate. And I made it happen because as lazy as I am a fucking go-getter. If I want something, I'm like, okay, like what can I do to figure out how to get it, you know? But within reason. I'm not like, okay, I want a fucking Ferrari today. I want a fucking Ferrari. So I'm going to have to fucking go slurp some and find somebody who will give me a loan for a Ferrari. No, I'm saying like something within your grasp. You know, if you know that you can get a loan for something, like I knew that I could get a loan for an old ass camper on Craigslist. So I went to the bank and was like, hey, this is what I'm needing money for. Who can I talk to? And they were like, this person over here. And I was like, all right, bet. And then they were like, okay, you got to go find one in this budget. This is what we'll loan you. And I was like, okay, bet. And then I just like got the ball rolling, which I'm not going to get into. I'll have that in a different video. But that's why with this land, the YOLO thing is I'm like, okay, I moved from Texas to Oregon sight unseen. I mean, I'd been to Oregon multiple times, but like I had never been to this town that I live in. I say to everybody, like I live in Portland, but I live outside of Portland, but there's like 100 cities outside of Portland, so you won't know which one. but it's close enough to go to Portland, like as much as I want to, which I don't want to. But anywho, I felt like that was a huge risk, going and doing that. But it paid off because we really liked the move. We liked where we moved to, yada yada. And so sometimes, not to be a fucking cheeseball, but I do believe in the phrase like jump and the net will appear kind of thing, which sounds so dumb. And I think that it's very nuanced, I guess. Like it's like it depends on who you are and your resources and, you know, your privilege. There's a lot of factors like included in the Jed just snorted. He's like sleeping right behind the camera. There's a lot of factors in like if you're even able to jump and let the net appear. I understand that that in itself is a huge privilege. But with this, it's only like an hour away, the land that I'm wanting. It's in my budget, so if I was able to get a loan for it, which I think I could, I would just have to go and move the camper there and then figure out how to hook up, you know, a few utilities. But I think it could be done. And anyone who knows me, like, and has heard me speak on it multiple times, my number one goal in life is to own a property, is to own land, so I can park this home on it that I've already worked really hard to pay off and renovate, with NARS, obviously. And I want to have like a separate studio for each of us, like on said property. So like get like a little shed or a little yurt or a little container and like renovate it to be our offices, because as much as I am totally fine with living in the camper, my creative space is in the kitchen over in the corner. And I've said before how like it just feels very cramped. Like I wish so badly that I had like space to spread out and like have, you know, closets and shelves with like where different types of crafts go, because right now it's all just like piled around me in my little corner. And so I swear to God, like having land and being able to build myself a studio, like my little dream studio, is my life's goal. And I think that that's like such a small goal, but for me, if I achieve that, I'll be happy as a fucking clam. And I do realize that, like I said earlier, taking my own advice, you know, you're always going to reach a goal and then you're going to be like, what's next? Like, it's okay to continue to have goals, but I am pretty content with like, if I achieve that, like, I'll be happy. Like, I can be complacent with that. And I am happy with my life now, but it's mainly like a space thing, because since we do have such a small home, my house is like a little under 400 square feet. Like, I think it's like 385 square feet. Sorry, I just started getting a migraine. There's just not space for fucking anything. Like, I'm constantly getting rid of stuff and, you know, reorganizing and trying to make everything fit into these teeny tiny little spaces, which is great because it's kept me from being a hoarder. It's kept me from buying unnecessary stuff. But, you know, as a creative, I feel very like suffocated in my little spot. So yeah, that would be so cool and slay if that worked out, and it would be like a really fun pivot to move to a new city. Because right now, like, I don't really go out, so like I don't fucking do anything. So I'm like, you know, moving to a new city to me like doesn't matter. I'm just more concerned about like the climate, you know, which I looked online and the climate is almost identical to here, which is what I expected. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. That would be really cool. I need to pay my fucking car off first though, because then I would have that extra money every month. Maybe I should wash cars in a bikini, to raise money to pay off my car. I just hear people right now. They're like, no, that would they would only pay you money to put your clothes back on. Just kidding. I'm fucking hot. I'm hot. I'm sexy and I know it. Yeah, I don't know. That's like such a huge goal for me. Like honestly, if they even say that like I can do that, like if the bank is like, yeah, you can have the money for that, I'll be like, I'll start hyperventilating because like I don't know. I feel like achieving a goal like that is so unreal to me. But mainly because of like the market and how expensive everything is. Because we've owned a house before. Like whenever we lived in Louisiana, I had the cutest fucking mid-century house. If you've been to that house, and you're from my hometown, from my past, you know that house was cute as fuck. It was huge for us. It had a massive yard, carport, and all this stuff. Which I kind of took for granted because I didn't know like what I was missing. But now, like, if I had that house right now, like, where I live, like, I'd feel like a goddamn king. Like, no cap, on God, for real. But, yeah, so don't let your dreams be dreams, is what I'm trying to say. But also be realistic about your goals. Because, like, I'm okay with being a broke bitch. Like I really don't mind being like in the poor category, in the poor tax bracket. Obviously I would love to be rich. Like I daydream about what I would do if I was rich all the time, which maybe maybe this podcast will pop off one day and I will be rich and we'll look back on this and be like, ha, remember when you were just a poor ass bitch? And I'll be like, nope, I don't know her, broke bitch. I won't be humble at all. I will be like the most maniacal piece of shit rich person. I just turn into fucking cheeky Paul and fucking vlog everything and like ruin people's lives. I'm such a menace. Like I really am a menace. I'm always trying to cause trouble in a joking way. Like I like to prank. I like to joke around. I like to lie for fun. I'm just a silly little goblin critter. Hence my fucking name. I'm cheeky as fuck. Period. But yeah, I'm okay with being poor, but I want land and I want a studio. That's all I fucking want. That's all I fucking want. If you're rich and you're watching this and you want to help make my dreams come true, slide in my DMs. I will send you pictures of my feet. Like with no questions asked. Like my feet are really nice, not gonna lie. What else are we gonna talk about? Let me check my list one more time. Making a list, checking it thrice. Gonna find out if I can make fried rice. And Chica Claus is coming to town. Oh yeah. This is literally so fucking cringe. I said, never in my life have I measured for mac and cheese. That is so true though. I wrote it down because I was like, I kind of want to know if you guys measure for things. Like a lot of things that are like, oh, this needs 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of milk. Like I never measure. I just give a couple glugs. Also, there's certain things that call for shit like that I've made so many times that I'm confident about, like what I've put in and knowing the outcome. But I feel like if it's like a brand new recipe, I'll measure. I don't know, but I just figured out the other day that I don't really measure for things whenever I'm making things. It says, I feel so bad for people who get cold fast food on a day where they're about to snap. Okay, so my reasoning for this was Nars brought us home Taco Bell the other day whenever he got off work, and it was like the best Taco Bell I've ever had. Like it was hot and fresh. Like everything was literally so hot and so crispy and fresh. I was like, I don't even think I've ever experienced this before. Like I was kind of like gooped and gagged about it. And I was like, as I was enjoying it, I was taking bites. I was like, wow, this is so good. I'm so grateful. I just had this thought of like someone getting off of their 9-to-5 job. They like didn't get the promotion that they really wanted. Some fucking prick in the office who always gets on their nerves got it over them. And like they are dealing with like their cat having a UTI, so they have a bunch of medical bills for their pet. You know, they're coming to the brink. You know, they're being pushed to the edge. And they are like, man, I don't feel like cooking. I'm just going to go to Taco Bell on the way home. You know, they pull into the drive-thru. Welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get for you? Yeah, 1 second, please. Okay, let me know you're ready. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. Yeah, can I get a triple beefy burrito? Can you grill it? Add extra onions. Add extra cheese. Can I get a Mexican pizza? Can I get an extra large Diet Dr. Pepper? Can I get 5 orders of cinnamon twists? Yeah, sure. Your total will be $72.89. Pull it to the next window. Thank you. They get their food, right? And they're like, you know what? Like, can't wait. I'm gonna get this food, kick back at home. And then they get home and they open the bag. Half the shit's missing, first and foremost. You know, they get upset, but they were mildly expecting that. And then they open their chalupa that they added a bunch of upcharges to that cost $9. And it's cold as ice. It's cold. They forgot to put the extra toppings on it. They only gave 1 order of cinnamon twists. You know, the Mexican pizza soggy. Like that is the kind of person that I expect to go and like shoot up a store. Like that's the kind of person that's going to go postal on everybody. And it's like, you know, I don't really blame them. This just isn't cheeky. Goblin is a fucking shooter sympathizer. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I feel like that is a more valid reason than just hating people, like being racist or going into a store and like just letting loose because you're like an incel or because you hate Muslim people. It's like, that is such a shit fucking reason. It's like, if you are being pushed to the brink and everything's going wrong in your life and you're at like rock bottom and you get a fucking wrong cold ass Taco Bell order, yeah, it makes sense. Don't do it, obviously. Like, just take a deep breath and like eat what you got, go to sleep, start the next day fresh, because things will get better. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, everyone on the fucking internet thinks that I am like right wing and psycho, but it's like, it's literally all a joke. Like, I'm not joking about this, but I'm like joking. You know what I mean? Okay, this is another very strange one that's on my list, but I think I might have written this down when I was high, by the way. I was thinking about how like, so I'm 31. Yeah, I know. I don't look my age. I look very, very young. And I don't look my age. Let me know in the comments. I know y'all are going to, but no, I'm 31. But I remember specifically whenever I was young and we would walk through the mall, there was all these like little kiosks throughout the mall. I think they still do it now, but for like modern phones. But they would have all these kiosks for phone covers, and it would be like for Nokias and Motorola Razrs and all these different, you know, phones. And I was like, you know, first off, they already had like a massive fucking surplus of all these cases and chargers and, you know, things that we needed. And it's like, whenever those things became obsolete, which they did, because eventually they stopped making SIM cards that fit these old ass phones. So even if you wanted to use a Nokia, like, you would have to there's probably someone who makes like custom SIM cards or some shit, but like, you can't get that like just on the market now. So I was just thinking about how all these phone cases and phone accessories for all these thousands of fucking phone models are just like in a landfill somewhere, or they're just like in a storage room somewhere collecting dust. That's the type of shit that keeps me up at night, because I'm like, man, you think about the landfill, you think about what's in the landfill, and I'm like, sure. But like that, I'm like, that, and that goes for anything that's obsolete now that used to be poppin', and the accessories for it. It's like, if it's no longer needed, they probably just fucking threw it all away. And it would have been real wicked and cool if they had taken all of it, you know, melted it down to make it into an iPhone case or whatever, which I'm sure that exists too. But yeah, I got really tripped out the other night about that and just obsolete, dusty shit being in the landfill. My top thing on my list says, what if Lady Gaga came out as right wing and a gay hater and regretted Born This Way? Literally, I was like, holy fuck. Like, that would be horrible, horrific. But I was like, what if fucking Mother Monster, Stephanie Germanotta, became a fucking, like, QAnon right-winger? Can you imagine? It would honestly be kind of funny. But, like, not, you know? Because, like, her whole, like, career and persona and vibes are just gay as fuck. And we love her for it. She's beautiful in her way because God makes no mistakes. She's on the right track, baby. She is right wing as fuck. Oh, she loves Donald Trump. Oh, she loves Donald Trump. Oh, she loves Donald Trump. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, I put that I hate when women apologize, word vomit apologize for their appearance. I do that too, but I'm like I am making it such a huge point. Like, I am like, it's like right here in the front all the time. Being like, don't do it. Don't say sorry about how my hair looks, or don't be like, oh my God, like I look so bad today, or like, you know, oh, my skin looks like shit. It's because it doesn't matter. Ladies and anyone, literally anyone, but it's mainly the girlies, do not apologize for that shit. First off, no one cares. And B, you're just bringing attention to it. Sorry, I can feel my lips getting dry because I'm talking so much. But yeah, like, we need to stop apologizing for existing, because when the fuck have we ever had a man come on a camera and be like, hey guys, like, sorry I look like shit? It's like absolutely never. And if it is, it's like once in a while. Women do it like automatically all the time, like me included, but I'm trying not to anymore because I don't want to bring attention to the thing that they probably weren't even fucking thinking about in the first place. And it doesn't matter. If people are watching you or talking to you, it's like they most likely like you and don't give a fuck about that thing. And I heard a piece of advice that was from Emma Chamberlain, of all people, which I'm not like a huge Emma fan, but I like her. Like, you know, I like her style. I like her vlogs, and I don't know, she's kind of a pick-me sometimes, but I like her, you know, overall. But I heard her say, people like you less if you don't like yourself. That's probably not the right quote. I'm going to find the right quote, and then by the time this video comes out, I can put the quote right here. I'm pretty sure it said something like, if, like, people do not like you if you don't like yourself. It was something like that. And I was like, you know what? That's so true, because I have always been drawn to people who are like really confident, like whether it's like in their sense of humor or their personality, and they're like just very vibrant and like they just seem so carefree, or like the way they look, like maybe they're not like hot as fuck, but they come off as hot as fuck because of the way they carry themselves, you know? And so I'm trying to really embody that the rest of the year and carry into 2024, because we are like, oh my God, full circle. We are all unique and have cool characteristics and things about us that make us one of a kind in this whole planet. Are y'all in the core? Are y'all in the fucking crust? On this planet, you are the only you. And I think that you should be more confident. I've always been pretty confident, but there's sometimes when I slip, but I'm going to try to take my own advice and be more confident, because I know that I am talented. I have a lot of charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. I serve cunt all day, every day. But yeah, that's all I got for the podcast segment. We will wrap up with media of the week. I have my Spotify Wrapped. I'll just say, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. It's a lot, but I have my like top artists. I'm not shocked by any of them, but the order I kind of am. But SZA was my number one, but that's because her newest album came out, and I literally listened to it on repeat for like, I want to say like 4 months straight, and I still listen to it. Concerned Ape, which is the guy who created Stardew Valley, and the music for Stardew Valley. He's been my number one usually the past like 4 years. So I'm surprised he's in slot number 2, but I'm also not. But I'm glad he's still in the top. Paramore was number 3, and that's because they also put out a new album, and I really loved it. Number 4 was Greta Van Fleet. I also listened to their newest album, which I think it came out last year maybe, but it's very good. I'm a newer Greta Van Fleet fan. And their newest album is really, really good. And then Icarus was number 5, which is like the kind of techno-y like house music that I like. Yeah, this list did not shock me at all. And I'd love to know who y'all's number 1 artist was on your Spotify Wrapped if you listen to Spotify. And then let's see, I have. Okay, so as far as like other media, like shows and other stuff, I always have podcasts that I listen to every single week religiously. Bad Friends, Just Trish, Emergency Intercom, and sometimes Tiger Belly. I'm like kind of new on the Tiger Belly train with Bobby Lee. And then there's another one. There's someone else's that I started listening to. Oh, Whitney Cummings. I started listening to hers a little bit. But yeah, I'm a podcast girly, but that's the reason why I like doing this, is because I love watching podcasts on YouTube. If I was just listening, I don't think I would listen. I like the visual of people's surroundings. I love like watching them interact with people and like how their mannerisms are, their hand movements, all that stuff. So that's why I'm like, like if this is my favorite type of media to ingest, then maybe other people will like mine. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And then as far as shows, Jujutsu Kaisen, just watched maybe the finale. I don't think it was the finale. I'm not going to say what happens. I'm not going to spoil it, but I don't know. It was wild. It certainly is, wild how far animation has come. And then The Bald and the Beautiful was another podcast I listened to religiously. Like, keeps me from wanting to die all the time. I fucking love Trixie and Katya. As far as music, I've been listening to Alex G, Greta Van Fleet. Everything. Earlier I was listening to Doja Cat. Sufjan Stevens put out a new album. I listened to the Civil Wars because I saw a TikTok that was like talking about the whole tea with the guy and the girl who were the Civil Wars. They were separate artists, but then they like had that together, but they were both married to other people. But there was like a weird falling out between them. And I used to be a big fan. And so I was like, it was one of those like, oh shit, I forgot about this album. I love this album. Listened to it. It was so good. Brought back a bunch of memories. But yeah, that girl's TikTok like triggered me to watch that or to listen to that. And I'm really glad about it. Okay. And last, what I'll talk about before we end is there's this new show on HBO Max. Shout out to Chip for letting me use his account, Slay King, called Love Has Won. If you have not watched it yet, please do, and don't look up what happens, because if you know everything or even like the main things that happen before you watch a documentary about said thing, it kind of like ruins it, or it makes it like, you know, you're like, the build up isn't as fun to like knowing what happens in the end. But basically it was like this self-made cult thing by this woman named Mother God. She literally thought that she was like the leader of all creation, and thought she was like the reincarnate of a bunch of celebrities and like famous figureheads of history's past. One of them being Robin Williams. And I was like, huh? But yeah, the most crazy, bizarre people I've ever seen a documentary on, and I've watched a ton of cult documentaries. I will not tell you what happens, but I will say trigger warning if you are scared to see bodies that are no longer alive. It was crazy as fuck. Loved it. It's only 3 episodes, so it's easy to ingest. It's easy to like watch in a day or two. So good. It's crazy. It's about like hippies that are believing in something. They're grasping at straws, and a really bad downward spiral for the leader, which always happens because cults can never fucking stay a thing, because people always lose their mind, or, you know, things end up going south, because that's just how cults work. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today on this episode of Goblin Mode. I am Cheeky. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch my episode next week. You can also catch me on Twitch. I'll probably be streaming in the next day or two. I also have an Etsy shop. I have a portfolio if you want to commission me to paint you something or buy something I currently have on the market. I have a bunch of pieces that are for sale on my Etsy shop, but I also have a lot that I haven't listed because I'm really lazy and it takes a long time. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, please let me know. I do have a little like Google form in the description box that you can like ask me questions. I would love any questions. Like some of the questions that have been submitted in the past have been really stupid, and I just skim over them because it's like please, like, stop yourselves. But if you want to ask me like an actual question or something that can be silly, but it's like a would you rather thing, I would love that. And I will answer them on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your time. Again, be sure to subscribe. I hope you have a really good week, and I hope that you get everything done that you need to get done, because yeah, it'll help you be less stressed out. But yeah, catch me on socials, and until next time, Cheeky signing off. Love you guys. Bye. Woo!